So we're going to do a nice yoga flow for releasing tension in the body. So if you have 2 balls, so tennis balls or myofascial release balls, then just grab them. We're just going to start off on our back, so coming down onto your back. We're just going to mobilise the pelvis. So you want your knees bent, your feet hip distance apart, pelvis in neutral, so you've got that slight gap underneath your lower back, ribs are on the floor. Bring your hands to your hip bones and then just rock the pelvis forwards and back. So if you imagine you've got a clock on your pelvis, you've got 12 o'clock up towards your head and 6 o'clock down towards your feet. You're going to draw the pelvis up towards 12 and then down towards 6, up towards 12, down towards 6. So when we're flattening the back on the floor and the pelvis is tucking under, the pelvic floor muscles are contracting and shortening. And then when the pelvis is drawing down towards the feet, the pelvic floor muscles are lengthening and relaxing. So we're just bringing some movement into the pelvic floor. And we are mobilising the pelvis, bringing some movement into the pelvis. Really nice. We can marry that with the breath by inhaling as we release and lengthen, and exhaling as we contract and shorten the pelvic floor muscles. Really nice. So we're just letting the movement and the breath do the lengthening and contracting for us. So we're not trying to grip the pelvic floor at all. We're just letting it happen nice and naturally. Really nice. And then we're just going to grab your balls and bring them underneath your the back of your pelvis, so kind of on your sacrum, just into where those 2 kind of dimply patches are, just above the at the top of the glutes. And we're just going to take some pelvic tilts with the balls in this position. And just keep breathing here. So we're rocking forwards and backwards on the balls. Should be getting a nice massage in the top of the glutes. Lovely. Keep going, keep breathing. We can inhale as we tilt the pelvis down towards the feet and exhale as we draw it up towards the head. Just feeling that really nice massage happening. Lovely. Come back to centre and just roll the balls down, further down the glutes, and then we're just going to rock from side to side on those balls. Again, giving ourselves a nice little massage into the glutes and just rolling side to side. You can have your hands down by your side or on the body if that's more comfortable. The balls may start to roll out to the outside edge of your mat, so just bring them back into position. And you should find that that feels really good. If you find an area of tension at all, then just hover or just sit on that area over the ball. So just stay in that position and breathe into that place you feel the most sensation. Lovely. Just do a little bit more of this. And then you're going to bring the balls down by the side. So just release the balls from underneath the glutes. Place them down so that you can reach them again in a minute. And then we're just going to come back into our neutral pelvis. So like find your centre, slight gap underneath your lower back. And then we're going to bring the hands around the rib cage and we're just going to do some nice big lateral breaths. So inhaling all the way around the ribs, feeling the ribs expanding into the hands, feeling the ribs expanding down onto the earth behind you. And just exhaling it, letting it go however you like for now. So nice big breaths all the way round. Start to visualise the ribs opening like bellows or an umbrella. Or maybe one of those nice handheld fans or a shell. So we're just expanding the ribs. All the way round. You can let it out through the nose or through the mouth. Really nice. Then we're just going to bring the knees up in towards the chest, and you're just going to locate your sit bones, and you're just going to focus on one side to begin with, and you're just going to massage just below the sit bone, so into that pelvic floor muscle that's below the sit bone, working in towards the pubic bone, in towards the vagina, and just give yourself a nice little massage here. So you can work the fingers into that muscle, into the pelvic floor, into that fascia as well. And you can work back towards the tailbone. Notice if there's more or less tension there. Maybe it might feel a little bit tender where there's a bit of tension. And just keep breathing here. Really nice. Lovely. Just release that side and then come over to the other side. So just using the fingers, having a bit of a massage of the pelvic floor. So in below the sit bone, in towards the pubic bone, back towards the tailbone. So we're massaging that pelvic floor muscle that sits within those four bony landmarks, the tailbone, the pubic bone at the front, and then the two sit bones at the side. Lovely. Come back to centre, bring the knees to centre. We're just going to rotate the knees around the hips. So keeping the knees together to begin with. Going one way, and then we can go back the other way. Keep breathing here. Maybe to inhale, draw the legs away. Exhale, draw the knees in. There's no right or wrong way of breathing. Find what works for you. And then let's just separate the knees and let's just take some circles with the knees, working into the pelvis, the pelvic floor muscle. And again, just going one way and then the other way. Really nice. Really good for the pelvis and all those attaching muscles. Come back to centre, pop the left foot down on the floor, cross the right ankle over the left knee or left thigh, draw that left thigh in towards you, wrap the hands around the back of the thigh, use the right elbow to push the right knee away, dorsiflex both feet, and just take some nice deep breaths here and send the breath into the area you feel the most sensation. Just breathing big deep breaths all the way around the ribs. Really nice. And then we're just going to rock from side to side with that leg crossed over the thigh. Just rocking from side to side. And then coming back to centre, release that foot down on the floor, cross the left ankle over the right thigh, draw that right thigh in towards the body, dorsiflex both feet, maybe using that elbow to push that opposite knee away. Lovely. Just breathing here. So breathing into the area where you feel that sensation the most. Nice deep breaths. All the way around the ribs. Try keeping that pelvis in that kind of neutral position so that you've got that slight gap underneath your lower back. So we're not curling up or flattening the back too much on the floor. We're really working to lengthen that tailbone down towards the floor. And then we're just taking some rocks from side to side. Lovely. And then come back to centre. We're going to rock and roll up and down the spine. See how this feels for your pelvic floor. If you're feeling too much downward pressure, keep your rocks nice and small. And then we can come up to sitting. If you don't want to roll up to sitting, then just roll over onto your side and come up to sitting that way. We're going to bring our legs into our 90-90 position. So we're going to bring our left leg at a 90-degree angle towards the long edge of the mat, and our right leg's going to come out to the side in line with the short edge of the mat. We're going to bring the hands behind us as we rotate the legs to the opposite sides of the mat. So now your right leg comes to face the back long edge and your left leg comes to face the short long edge. And we're going to come back. So we're going to work really nice and slowly, keeping those legs open in the centre. Come back and face forwards. Bring the hands behind us. Nice and slowly, really feeling into this as the muscles lengthen. Nice. Let's do a couple more here. So we'll come back to the front. Nice and slow, just keep breathing. And let's make this our last one. Really feeling into the inner thighs, into the pelvic floor muscle. Lovely. And then we're going to bring the legs out in front of us. Just grab one of your balls and we're going to place locate the right sit bone, and we're going to place the ball inside the right sit bone towards the vagina. So it's not going to go on any of those bony landmarks. It's going to go on the pelvic floor muscle in between the sit bones, the pubic bone and the tailbone. So on the right side first. And you can bring your legs out in front of you, sit up nice and tall. We're just going to do our nice big lateral breaths around the whole rib cage. So really breathing into the back of the ribs and the sides of the ribs. If this feels quite tender, you can use a rolled up pair of socks as a softer start for releasing some of that tension. So really thinking about melting over the ball. On the inhale, you'll feel the muscles lengthen down. On the exhale, you'll feel the muscles contract away. And just keep breathing here. Nice, full, deep breaths. Lovely. And we're just going to roll the ball back towards the tailbone slightly, coming more onto the posterior pelvic floor muscle. And again, just closing down the eyes maybe, or just fixing your eye gaze on something in front of you. Keep that soft gaze. As you breathe all the way around the ribs, keep the focus on the breath. And you can do this sat on a chair as well. And then we're going to roll the ball to the front, so more towards the pubic bone, still on the right hand side. Some nice big breaths here. Lovely. Then we're going to remove that ball, place that sit bone down on the floor, and just notice how that side feels compared to the other side. See if there's any difference. And then we're going to locate the left sit bone, place the ball inside the left sit bone, relaxing over the ball, and then breathing here. Nice big lateral breaths all the way around the ribs. Lovely. And then just move the ball back towards the tailbone. Just make sure it's not on the bones at all. And just softening over the ball. And breathing here. And then we can roll the ball to the front towards the tailbone, still more towards that left hand side. And take some nice deep breaths here. Lovely. Remove the ball. Notice how both the sit bones feel to the bottom of that pelvis, the pelvic floor. And then we're going to come onto all fours. So coming into your all fours position, hands facing forwards, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. We're going to inhale, lift the tailbone, sink the belly, lift the head and the chest. Exhale, tailbone, curls under, rounding through the spine, chin to chest last. Inhale from the tailbone, rippling through the spine, lifting the chest and the head up last. And then again, tailbone as you exhale, rounding through. Inhale, tailbone first, working through the spine. And exhaling as we round into cat. Lovely. Coming back to centre. We're going to stretch the right leg out towards the side, coming up onto the hands. We're going to inhale to rock back and exhale to rock forwards. Inhale, rocking back, and exhale forwards. Keep going here. Lovely. In your own time, with your own breath. Inhale to rock back, exhale to come forwards. Let's start rotating the foot as we come back. We're going to rotate foot up towards the sky and then back down. So foot and leg rotate up and then back down. Inhale back, rotate up and then down. Lovely. Come back to centre. We're going to stretch the left arm up and then we're going to thread the arm underneath the other arm. We're going to lift that arm up and then thread it underneath. Lifting the arm up and then threading it under. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to thread under. Let's do 2 more here. Inhale up, opening up that shoulder. Lovely. Plant the hand back down, bring that leg in, and then we're going to extend the left leg out to the side and do the same on the other side. So we inhale to come back, exhale to come forwards. Inhale to come back and exhale forwards. Inhale back, exhale forwards. Really nice. And then we're going to start rotating that foot and leg up towards the sky as we come back on the inhale, and then exhale, bring it back down as we come forwards. Keep breathing with the movement. Lovely. Now we're going to lift that right arm up, reach it up to the sky, take the gaze up, thread it underneath. Bring the ear and the shoulder down on the earth. Inhale up, exhale, thread it under. Inhale up, and exhale, we thread. Inhale up, exhale under. Let's do 2 more here. Reaching up and then threading it under. Come back to centre. Bring the knee in. I'm going to sit back onto the heels, tuck the toes under at the back, just stretching out that plantar fascia in the soles of the feet. Lovely. And then we're going to swing the legs round towards the side. Come back into a seated position, and we're just going to do a little bit of release work for the jaw. So you're just going to bring your knuckles into the corner, that diagonal of the jawline, and we're just going to rub nice and gently along those bones. Lovely, just releasing the jaw. And then we're going to bring the fingers into the soft tissue within the cheeks. So just below the cheekbone. And you're just going to massage. You can use the fingers or the thumbs. Just to massage and get right up underneath the cheekbone. Keep that jaw nice and soft. So keep the lips softly parted. Jaw slightly open. Really nice. Just coming up just in front of the ears. And we're just going to massage here, circling one way. And then the other way. Lovely. Then we're going to come back down, find your balls again. We're going to come down onto the back, so sliding down on the back. We're going to bring the balls underneath the back, just about where the bra strap is. We're going to bring the balls either side of the spine, and then we're just going to release over the balls. And you're just going to take some nice deep breaths here. Just breathing into that area. Sending the breath to the area you feel the most sensation. Keep breathing. So we're just releasing any tension in that mid-back. And then let's just bring the balls a little further down. And again, just melting over those balls. And breathing, sending the breath to the area you feel the most sensation. Nice big breaths into the back of the body. And then again, move the balls down the spine or either side of the spine. Keep breathing. And then into the lower back. And taking some nice big breaths. Lovely. Just removing the balls. Just going to hug the knees in towards the armpits, coming into a child's pose. Bring the hands to the shins. And then just lengthen the tailbone down towards the floor. So we find some length in the lower back and the pelvic floor, the glutes. And just take 5 deep breaths into the back of the body, into the back of the ribs. Really nice. Roll over onto your side. Slowly guide yourself up to sitting. And that is that practice done. Thank you so much for joining me.